Take whatever time you need to gather yourself, my friend. When you are ready, we can proceed.
Yes, I am sorry. She had me built to her exact designs. Not even I know all the ways in which she can control me. She was able to follow my wake like a shark. But I will see myself destroyed rather than be forced to betray you again. I swear.
It shall be done.
Melody's face is drawn. She seems tired, somewhat subdued. She looks you over and squints.
What's wrong with you? You seem happy. Indeed. Indeed, as they should. I've had some time to think, and there's a few matters I want to discuss before we carry on. I doubt you've forgotten the death of Meister Siva.
She swallows hard and closes her eyes for a moment, as though trying to dispel a dizzy spell.
She and I had a deal, you see. A deal that's now quite obviously defunct. According to its terms, I was to help you ascend to divinity, and she was to help me with another matter. The details aren't important now, it's just... never mind. Another entangling alliance. But I won't be able to disentangle it on my own. There may come a time when I need to count on you as an ally. So, are we? Allies, that is. The details are detailed. Suffice it to say that Meister Siva believed she could help me. And I believe you're twice the sorcerer she ever was. So? Imagine if I'd have said the same when Dallas was about to blow you to smithereens on the high seas. Moving on. I found out where Dallas is heading. There's a great city not far from Driftwood, Arx by name. It's controlled by Magisters, so you'll have your work cut out for you. We have to find out what she's planning to do with the powers of the Seven. You'll need to find her and take back what she stole, and quickly, before she does something irreversible. Dallas, or any of the others for that matter, cannot be allowed to use the powers of the gods. She doesn't understand what must be done. She doesn't understand how to rule. It's quite simple, really. Chaos is a fact of life, surer than any other. Power is one of the few structures that can cut a line through that chaos. If wielded well, that line will mean stability, order, a comfort against the unknowable, changing forces of chaos. If wielded poorly, the line will mean domination, terror, different from chaos, but no better. Dallas, and the others like her, Alexander, the Mother Tree, the Prince of Shadows, they are little better than demons, really. They seek power at the expense of others, not to create stability, but to create servants. Look at my face, Godwoken. What do you see? I suppose we all see what we want to see. When I look in the mirror, I see balance. Balance between darkness and light, between good and evil, whatever those categories mean. When the time comes for you to ascend, remember my face. Remember that despite any shortcomings you might have, if you can bring a semblance of balance to the world, you'll have done as good as the Seven did. And if you can be stronger than them, you'll do all the better. The Seven are gone, slain by their Godwoken, slain by you. You have the potential, the obligation even, to do better than they did. To create a better world than the world they made. I just am. You can trust in me. I just am. Now, there's little time to spare. We need to get you to Arx, find Dallas, take back what she stole. Shall we go? Very good. How lucky for you I'm on your side. I'm probably the only one masterful enough to transport an entire ship safely between the land of the dead and the land of the living. Captain Malady stands at the ready.
After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon's secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucius! Fools! The bastard's going to ruin everything! Brace! Brace! Brace!
Oh, Quercus. She might have been a butchered tree, but she still made a noble home. And now our nest is gone. We cannot hide in their barren hall of echoes. We cannot idly wait for fate to take us. There's only one thing left to do.
Solora looks up to you, then back to Quercus. His whiskers twitch.
We must fight! Onward, Quercus! Onward, shield! Until the great acorn drops, there's still hope! Ho!
Don't say anything.
Malady groans, her face twisting in pain. She falls to one knee, catching herself on her hands.
Yes, not my finest work. But never you fear. I've pulled a clever trick out of my sleeve. Lady Vengeance stands in two realms at once, her body here, her soul in the Hall of Echoes. You can return at your leisure.
She raises herself to her feet unsteadily.
At least I got us where we wanted to go. This is Arx. This is where Dallas has fled with the powers of the gods. This is where the path to divinity leads. Your guess is as good as mine for once. If it were me, I'd start with the Divine Order in the city. Last I heard, there were plenty of Magister within the city walls. If their beloved leader is among them, they'll likely have heard about it. Dallas must be stopped. She has stolen the powers of the Seven. You'll need to get the Aetherin back if you're to fight the God King. You'll need it if you're to ascend. Track her in Arx. Find out where she's gone and end her. Take back the Aetherin and the powers of the gods with it. You cannot fail, Godwoken. Not for anything.
Hey, Chief. Before we get a move on, I'd like a word with Malady. You mind? Psst. Hey, Mals. I'm not, feeling so hot.
I should think not. The demon is getting closer to himself. You'll meet him in Arx soon enough, and if you meet him like this, it's bye-bye Losa. We won't let that happen, will we? I've got a little something cooking. There's power in names, after all. And we know exactly who Adramalik is. Don't worry. I'll find you before it's too late. Demon's honor.
Our shield speaks, Quercus! Prick up your phantom ears.
Hurry along now. You'll need to find Dallas before it's too late. That's for you to discover. Arx is rife with Divine Order grunts, though. If she's among them, they'll know where to look. Take care of yourself, Godwoken. They may not always be there to do it for you.
Yes?
She says nothing for a moment, but chews her lip, deep in thought.
To be honest, so did I. When we first arrived on the island, I could barely keep a lid on it. But when we fought the gods, it suddenly grew quiet. I think it's waiting, biding its time. For what, I'm not totally sure, but it's eager. I wish I didn't have to say that. Well, I'm still quite keen on getting this parasite out of my head. First that, then Dallas. Oh? I think you're tough, smart. You listen when you should. You act when you need to. And I think you'd make a pretty good god, if it comes down to it. Your turn. What's your honest opinion of me? Me too. If we hadn't met way back when, I can't honestly say where I'd be now. For better or worse, we're in it together, aren't we? Now, was that all? I remember. What about it? Look, Chief, I've had a long, short life. And one thing I figured out is, when it's right, it's right. And what we had was... correct. You know how I feel about you. That isn't gonna change. Not now, not ever. But I don't expect anything from you. I don't even want anything from you, but to see where this road takes us. If that road should happen to lead straight to a quiet spot with a mat on the floor and no one watching, well, you wouldn't hear any complaints from this corner.
Do you know, this Ark's place doesn't look half bad. It's only about 1/3 bad, really. Maybe 2/5, depending on the weather.
There's an air about this place. Something sinister just below the surface. To be perfectly frank, yes. I only have to do what comes natural to me. Besides, these 7 weren't exactly angels. Even gods get their comeuppance. We stand warned, don't we? By all means. That, despite all the blood and guts, it's been perfectly wonderful. How about you?
She curtsies.
And my privilege. Ah, that.
She twirls her needle nonchalantly between her fingers, but fumbles it and pricks her thumb. She pockets the needle and sucks away the little bead of blood that appears over the tiny wound.
I haven't given it a second thought. Neither should you. Last I heard, godhood awaits. If only we can wrest it from Dallas. First, we find her. Then, we roll for the greatest fate of them all.
Gareth massages his forehead and grunts.
Ugh. Why does everything have to go to absolute shite? Glad to see you're still kicking at least. Though I should warn you, Arx kicks back.
Gareth scans the wreckage and whistles. The Lady Vengeance is well and truly ruined.
I suppose you're right. But that doesn't mean we haven't been dealt an unfortunate blow. Still, it does me no good to dwell on what I cannot undo.
Gareth stretches out an arm in front of him and takes inventory of every scrape, cut, and bruise.
Godwoken, it may be Lucian's day, but Arx will give you little cause to celebrate. I must stay here, but I can give you this. Through it, Lucian may still protect you. It's a city at a crossroads. Volumes could be written about a single conflict. Yet Arx endures an infinitude at once. It's from Arx that the Divine Order operates, so to speak, though you'll find its operations are as scattered as dandelion seeds in a cyclone. With both factions at odds, sorcery is not a pervading concern. Do not, however, assume that every paladin offers safe haven. The enemy of your enemy is not always a friend. Were I wearing your boots, I'd seek out Ahu, the Lord Protector, and the keeper of Lucian's crypt. He is a wise one and may offer you help. Ahu is Lucian's greatest asset, a great wizard, and clever as a cat. He protects Lucian's remains deep within the Ark's cathedral, and I can think of no one better suited for it. He's a man of many talents, not the least of which is knowing. Ahu spots details that elude even the savviest of spies. If the hammer has fallen in Arks, he'll have taken notice. Old habits, my friend. I pursued my guiding star. I had no idea it would lead me so astray. But it's still the only star I knew to follow in the darkness. Yet perhaps I found another.
Gareth smiles at you. You see in him something he's lacked of late. Hope.
I'll do what I do best. Hold things together. Those that remain still need a chief, so I'll attend to whatever needs attending to. I have no more surprises up my sleeve. I dare say you've had enough.
Gareth grasps your shoulder as you turn to go.
You've done much for me. It's a miracle I even stand here now, frankly. You've got more miracles in you, Prince. With you, what was impossible seems possible again.
Not the finest of landings, though I suppose our dear vessel did well enough, given it's not exactly in its natural habitat. At least I can still access all of my tools in the Hall of Echoes. I wouldn't relish the prospect of scouring through all this wreckage to find what I need. Why work, of course? Anathema won't restore itself, I dare say. I shall finish what I started, aboard whatever remains of the Lady Vengeance in the Hall of Echoes. Come and find me later in the Hall of Echoes. I believe I'm rather close to having Anathema in working order.
The statue reaches toward the sky, as though preparing to take flight. The bottom drops out from within you. She lifts you up, up, up.
Did you know Malady taught me how to sneak out of here, even though we're in the Hall of Echoes? So I can still get some things for you, if you want. Of course. Told you I would, didn't I? Sure thing. I'll start hunting that down right away. Don't wait up.
I've plenty of fighters for her. Oh,
Like to take a look at what I've been working on, by all means.
Quite a landing. I should know better by now than to think we're safe. I was stationed here for a short time. There was a strong Magister presence back then. A large barracks. A jail. The Whites were based there too, but their dealings were a mystery to me. I heard a rumour once that they had secret chambers built into the foundations of the barracks, that you could hear whispers in the walls at night, but I never saw or heard anything myself.
A glazed look passes over Mihaly's eyes. He smiles benignly.
Enthrall me? Whatever do you mean? Almira is my true love. I've known that since the moment I met her. I'm eternally grateful to be at her side.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
You're lucky that I enjoy a bumpy ride, my dear. Our arrival here was vigorous, even for my tastes. I'm still eternally grateful for all you've done for me, of course. In fact, here, take this. I suspect you'll find use for it soon enough. This place? No. Arx is clogged with Divine Order lackeys, from what I understand. It's not the sort of town where a girl like me could let her hair down, unfortunately. I am glad to have met you, my friend. You let me taste freedom, and now my journey is at an end. Go. Meet your destiny.
final voyage of the Lady Vengeance. She served us well.
Did you hear? The big acorn has come, and it's chosen our forest. We are the chosen ones.
Quirkus! Do you think they recognized us?
They're in the harbor.
No.
The Kraken.
No.
If we keep showing up uninvited, it'll never make friends.
Lucian the Divine standing guard over Arx. He's been slacking off by the look of things.
Lucian the Divine, standing guard
Lucian
over
the
Arx.
Divine,
He's been
standing
slacking off
guard
Lucian
over
the
Arx.
Divine standing guard
Slacking
over
off by the
Arx.
looks of things.
He's been slacking off by the looks of things.
The big acorn has come! The prophecy has been fulfilled! Did you feel its power as it fell from the sky?
More two legs. Why must you crowd our woods? Go be with your own kind.
Death fog below.
You see the crash? The ship? Are they Voidwoken? Mission or no, the Voidwoken do not care what brings you here. We stand watch nearby, just in case. If you are here to enter Arx, take care. There are Voidwoken within the city, and now I fear they are outside it too.
A prayer from a pilgrim. Mighty Lucian, grant me wealth and power.
A prayer from a pilgrim. Mighty Lucian,
A prayer
grant
from
me
a
wealth
pilgrim.
and power.
Mighty Lucian,
A prayer from-
grant me wealth.
That's a trap.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Claim your death right, Fame. Forever,
Healing! I need aid.
time is now, Vayne. Join us. Join us. Join us.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Forever, Vayne. You can live forever with us.
Prepare yourself.
is now vain. Redeem yourself, vain.
Cornered. Pilgrims. Probably here for Lucian's Day.
Do you know where I might find?
Not a healer, a doctor. Think harder. You must have come across one in your travels.
Brother, I suggest praying to Lucian on this, the holiest of days. He can mend every heart, cure
The woman's
every...
upper lip twitches, and her chest heaves with each God-fearing utterance to the heavens.
Lucian, I pray thee absolve my sins and find me worthy. The time of reckoning is upon us. The hall awaits only the chosen. May the death fog cleanse me as it cleanses the land and waters.
She shoots you a frenzied glance.
He has told me his plan, Lizard. Lucian will not wash our sins away with water or fire, but with death fog. The true faithful will bathe in the fog of their own accord, and he will reward them with eternal bliss. It spreads even now, just below. I am ready to prove my loyalty.
She trails off, and her eyes flit upwards, as if listening to a voice only she can hear.
You come to the city, I suppose. Like the rest of us. Whatever your purpose in Arx, you may be disappointed. I want to visit Lucian's shrine to find answers. But perhaps it is a fool's errand. Word comes that access is forbidden. There is fighting. I hear Magisters in white fighting the Paladins. And I hear a Voidwoken. I do not expect to hear his voice. But I meditate. I look upon his disciples. I take in his resting place. Perhaps the answers come. Peace, too. And perhaps not. This is the chance I take.
You all right, stranger? I heard a huge crash in the mountains earlier. Maybe thunder, maybe Voidwoken. Don't go wandering alone now. There's no telling what you'll find. White? Sure. Just before they lock the city gates. They say Dallis herself is inside the city walls. But I hear there's something up, too. Trouble between them and the Paladins. Of course, once the Voidwoken landed, that were the only thing on anyone's lips.
She shoots you a questioning look, but resignation quickly wipes her face clean of curiosity.
I won't ask. Long as it weren't a Voidwoken, that's all I need to know. Well, settle in then. No point heading into the city. Gates are closed. Voidwoken. In the city. I never thought I'd see the day. Lucian's Day. Got a few prayers of my own that need answering. But these days, who don't?
Goods for sale here. Any takers?
I feel awful.
Ah, hello. Please, if you're in need of supplies, now's the time to stock up.
There's no telling where you'll find another trader, such as things are. You'll have to forgive my limited stock. The incident in the harbour was... well, I was lucky to escape with my life, much less anything to sell. Voidwoken. I was taking inventory of the stock I brought to sell in Arks when the harbour was suddenly overrun. It was horrible. Though I did see one little girl, all by herself just beyond the harbour. Poor thing. She was too far off for me to help. She's surely dead by now. I hope it was swift, at least. She was human. Light skin and fair hair, with a blue flower tucked behind one ear. But her eyes... I didn't know humans could have such dark eyes. They seemed almost pure black. A trick of the light, perhaps. And it wasn't the time to linger for another look. A pleasure doing business. Even now.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
Please return.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
I pledge my soul, O Lucian. Please return.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Me too.
I pledge my life, O Lucian. Please return.
Another card?
No,
I
I'm
feel
holding.
awful.
Me too.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me
Jehan strokes his chin as he surveys the Pilgrim Camp. He notices you approach, turns, and smiles his stern smile.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
I pledge
I
my
feel
soul,
awful.
Lucian.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
I'm the last merchant till inside the city gates. Get what you need or you'll regret it.
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
A bit of a choppy re-entry, wasn't it? Sorry I couldn't be there to greet you, but time is limited. The doctor will know of the crash soon enough. I need to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can.
He swings a backpack over his shoulder. It's filled to the brim with potions, grenades, and magical charms.
Sadly, these pilgrims have no useful news. So, off to the city I go. Time to rid it of its demon. Perhaps. But I'm determined to press ahead. I've my own battles to wage. And you... well, you have yours, don't you? Divinity eludes you still. But I've the feeling it won't elude you much longer. Think about what it means to become a god. Prove worthy of it. Do good.
A firm handshake, and he's off.
And so the hunt commences once more. May the Seven be on our side.
I came all the way from Driftwood, but I never expected to get stuck like this.
Another card?
Excuse me, have you word from the city? I heard the paladins inside have overthrown the magisters. How can that be? And if it is, who's in charge of Fort Joy? Please, don't say that. My brother's just been sent there. I don't understand it. There's a prison right here in Arx. Why send him so far away? I just need to plead his case. To Dallas herself, if I'm able. Or to whoever's in charge now. He's a sweet lad. He doesn't belong there. But I'll sort it out, that's for certain. I don't know. Maybe the Paladins have finally had enough of this clampdown. The Magisters will just go and lock up anybody. That wasn't Lucian's way, was it?
Only fog.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
Do you see anything?
Only fog.
Do you see anything?
Only fog. What a cursed Lucian's day this is.
I come for prayer and penitence. Instead, I find waste. Do you see anything?
A spillage all over the floor.
Only fog.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
I'm the last merchant till inside the city gates. Get what you need or you'll regret it.
The dwarf smiles, at ease despite his imprisonment.
Need some chatter to pass the time, friend?
The dwarf smiles.
Need some chatter to pass the time, friend? Is that all I'm worth? Suppose I'm not surprised after this long.
Rufus? Rufus! Why are you fading? Don't leave me! You're the only friend I have here.
The feast begins. Praise to the Devourer. Praise to the one who hungers in his name.
Bet you and the Empress would have gotten along great. Too vicious to care about anyone else. Good riddance.
The spirit of the cultist turns to you, head bowed low in respect.
My soul is bound to your whim, Blessed One. How may I serve you this day? Yes, I know that hunger in your eyes. Don't hesitate, champion. This was meant to be. My destiny is finally fulfilled. Feast upon every soul that touched this armor, and the Devourer's strength will suffuse you.
A man's spirit stands before you, clad in scholarly dress. When your eyes meet, he staggers back, terrified.
Who has taken my books? My note? Sweet Armadi, am I cursed? Why are you looking at me that way? It's terrifying. Like you're hungry. There has to be something you need me for. Anything but this. Oh, everything is so cold. It's never been this cold.